Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina, where today we're having a look at the Bandai Tamashii Nations S.H. Figuarts Padmé Amidala Soul Web exclusive action figure. Now, I missed out on this when it initially was put out there for pre-order, so I resigned myself to just not getting it. I really wanted it, but I was like, I don't want to spend what these are going for. Luckily, Big Bad Toy Store got some in stock that they listed as substandard grade, as you can see here, which apparently meant that there was an issue with the packaging, and that's why they were selling it at the lower price. So I went ahead and thought I'd take a chance on it, and that's exactly what I ended up doing. And lo and behold, when I received it, I was very pleased that as far as it being substandard, there is absolutely nothing wrong with this gorgeous looking box. I mean, it looks absolutely pristine. It's not crushed, it's not dinged. It looks perfect. I'm not sure what issue it may have had in Big Bad Toy Store's eyes, but it looks gorgeous. There's really nothing wrong with it as far as I can tell here. And just overall, a really nice look at the Padmé Amidala figure. I think that she looks fantastic. Just going off of these pictures, of course. I haven't taken her yet out of the packaging. So I'm going to go ahead and spend a little bit of time and do that. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at Padmé Amidala. All right, you guys. So here is Padmé out of the packaging. And I really like what I'm seeing. I mean, as far as I'm aware, this is the first, maybe, and only 6-inch Padmé in any line. It's a little unfortunate that the Black Series hasn't done one yet, though that may change soon or later. But the figure itself here looks really nice. I'm loving the aesthetics. The overall likeness, I think, is quite strong. The overall physique and proportions look really good. I feel like the figure is very well balanced. She stands quite nicely as a really good center of gravity. The entire sculpt looks excellent. It has all of the nice little details you would expect in a figure like this. And I'm particularly quite fond of the coloration and all the paint detailing that's going on with this particular figure. I think Bandai knocked it out of the park. Here's a close-up look at the Senator. And again, I think that the likeness is really strong on the figure. I mean, when I look at this, I see Natalie Portman. Even if it's not 100%, it's still a really good likeness. I mean, that's her profile for sure. The overall sculpt of the hair, I think, looks really good. I really like how they tied it back in that sort of knot slash bun. Very detailed, nice sculpting on there. I do feel like the hair color is a little bit too light. It definitely should be a little bit darker than this, but it looks quite close to how her hair looked in Geonosis, where, you know, it was all lit up and everything. But the face does look really good. I'm liking the contouring. The paint application looks excellent. Eyes look really good. Really nice paint, nice and straight. Eyebrows look really good. Those are definitely Natalie's eyebrows. Lips are also very nice. I'm really happy with the aesthetics on this figure. They even gave her the beauty marks there on cheeks, on both cheeks. So that is really cool to see. Now, the rest of the outfit, I mentioned that I really like the way it was painted. And I mean, absolutely, it's not like a really stark, bright white. It's kind of a little bit more of an ivory or a yellowish sort of off-white. And that is quite nice because it does look like it looked on Geonosis after she had encountered the Nexu and had gotten her shirt ripped. Now, you will notice that they did not include the bloody marks on the back. Obviously, after she got scratched, it tore her shirt, but it also left some blood. For whatever reason, that is not present on the figure. It still looks great. I'm not really going to hold that against it, but that is one of those details that I'm a little surprised is not there. The little bands right here on her arms look quite nice. Nice sheen to them. And I really like the matte nature of the outfit. It's not glossy or anything, so it looks good. I have a feeling if Hasbro did this, it would look too glossy. So this is quite nice. You can see the belt's a little bit of a darker color. She has some pouches there on the sides. And all the detail is quite nice. You can also see that there is some shading, kind of some more of a tan colored shading that's going on her outfit, just to kind of bring out more of those details. They really did a good job. I mean, look at these boots. Just painting the little notches and outlines there, I mean, really brings out that detail. So, I mean, that's really nice. Really nice detail on the soles of her feet as well. Really good. In terms of articulation, she has a ball pin that goes into the top of the head, and that connects down into the neck. So you can move both pieces independently of each other. So you can see that she's got a lot of downward movement. As far as upward movement goes, really good. You can get your side to side. You can tilt her head from one side to the other. Here at the shoulders, you will see that there is a cup that covers up the joint. You can still get it up like that. You can rotate it. It's got full range of movement, but that cup just kind of helps to conceal that a little bit. For both of the elbows, you can bend them like that, and it's a really nice bend. I mean, way more than 90 degrees. Really good range of movement there. For the hands, I mean, it's typical for Figuarts where you can put it in, out, you can spin it, and depending on how you orient the hand, you can change the range of motion. If you wanted to have her kind of like hello, you could do that, or if you just wanted to rotate it around the pin, you could actually move it up and down, more of a karate chop type movement. So really nice that you have the options there. There is a joint here at the upper torso, and you get really good bend out of it, but side to side seems a little more restricted. Now when you're getting to the bottom part of the midriff, you can get a lot of movement from that. So forward and back. It looks like she's belly dancing or something here. Now here at both of the hips, she does not have the usual drop down joints that Figuarts have, but you can still kind of get her to do that, things like that. And you can actually see the joint in there a little bit. You can still move them forward all the way. You can move them back a little bit, and you can move them out to the side. Not a full split, but enough. In addition to that, you also see that there is this little piece that goes into her belt that looks like a holster for her blaster pistol, which is not included with the figure, but you can rotate that nonetheless. You can also rotate the one on the opposite side. So pretty neat overall. Right here at the knees, you can get a full bend right there. And for the ankles, it's the usual rotation, up, down, rotate, swivel, and the toes as well. So overall, a beautifully articulated figure. Out of the box, Padmé comes with 2 open hands. She also comes with 2 trigger gripping hands for both the right and the left. And then she also has these 2 completely relaxed open hands. Kind of strange how there are no fisted hands, but instead the 2 open hands. But hey, it works. So Padmé also comes with an interchangeable head. Now you can see that the expression is a little bit different on this one. So you go from this, which is more of a calm, kind of a neutral look, to this, which is a little bit more determined, a little bit more fierce looking. And her mouth's actually opened a little bit. I kind of feel like the likeness here looks more like Natalie Portman than this one. I don't know. I mean, they both look like her, but I mean, I don't know. For some reason, maybe it's the eyes or something about it. I just feel like this looks a little bit closer to her actual look. I mean, it's a good looking head. Thankfully, they're not both very similar. This is different enough, so I'm happy about that. And you still get the great details, the beauty marks on both sides of the face. Very nice paint. Overall, looks really, really good. Now, what I do hate about the figure, anytime you pull off the head to switch it out, the entire joint comes out along with it. And that makes it really difficult because you can't really just stick your fingers in there and pull it out. I mean, there's really not enough space to do that. So anytime that happens, I need to grab the needle nose pliers and go in there, cover them up with a t-shirt or something to not scratch anything and just pull it out. But that is super, super annoying to have to do that each and every time you want to take the head off. So, I mean, that's really the only engineering complaint I have with the figure, but it is kind of a major one. But then when you do get the head swapped, I mean, you can't really argue with it. It is a really nice aesthetic, and it is truly nice that you do get the 2 interchangeable heads. Which brings us to the only other accessory you get with the set, and that is her battle droid style blaster. Now, I cannot stress to you guys how much I hate this blaster. And it's not the aesthetics, because it looks great, and it's not the paint, because it looks great and it's clearly very durable, doesn't have any flex to it or anything. It's the fact that they gave it an interchangeable handle, so that pops out. That way you could accommodate it into the hand that is appropriate for the figure. And it truly does make it a lot easier, because otherwise, you'd have to flex those fingers quite a bit. So I don't really have a problem with the fact that they designed it like this. What I do have an issue with, though, is that it does not stay put in the blaster. You can see the little holes right there. You basically got to line them up with the handle. And it's in, but once you give it to her and start posing it, I mean, it just comes off way, way too easily. All you have to do is kind of just knock it against the figure's body, and it comes out. I mean, aesthetically, it looks great. I really like the way that it looks, but I mean, there you go. It just falls off. So I'm really tempted to super glue it, but then I wouldn't have the ease of getting this back into her hand like that. So again, like the head, this is another big issue I have with the figure. And here's Padme alongside the S.H. Figuarts Anakin Skywalker. Once I got Padme, I mean, I really had to go back and get Anakin. I mean, they spend almost the entire movie together, so it's kind of hard to have one and not the other. So both excellent figures, even though I do have some gripes with Padme. There's no denying how aesthetically awesome these two figures are together. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Bandai Tamashii Nations S.H. Figuarts Star Wars Attack of the Clones Padmé Amidala. Overall, you guys, I am very ecstatic that Bandai Tamashii Nations gave us an S.H. Figuarts Padme. Like I said, Black Series hasn't done it yet, and I don't think any other company has done it yet in this scale. So really awesome to see. And it's not just that it's awesome they made Padme, it's also that Padme herself is quite awesome. Yeah, I have significant issues with the head popping off with the joint and not staying in the neck where it should, which would be okay if there were 2 of those joints that just stayed in the heads permanently, but that's not the case. And yeah, I have a lot of issues with the blaster falling off of the handle far too easily, but in terms of the overall scope here, I love this figure. She's got a great sculpt. She's got a great likeness, beautiful paint detailing on the entire figure. She's got the interchangeable hand. She's got the interchangeable head. I mean, basically everything you could want with the figure outside of the 2 issues is here. Great articulation. She is missing the blood on the back of her shirt. Not a huge deal. Kind of wish it would have been there, but it's not. Besides that though, I'm totally enamored with this figure. I love it. She's going to have a very prominent spot in my S.H. Figuarts display. Highly recommend it to you if you can get the figure. I know she's very expensive at this point in time, especially because she was a Soul Web exclusive, meaning she wasn't mass produced. But if you do fork over the money and you do track her down, I mean, I feel like she's totally worth it. Honestly, she's a great figure. Love her. Alright my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts down below. Also be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe to the Cantina Chatter podcast on iTunes, and as always, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye bye.